Um, I would like to share with you a little something personal, something kind of strange that happened to me recently. I've lived in Hong Kong for 26 years now. I got here 1996, and when you live in Hong Kong for a long time, you notice something that I think is almost unique to this city. There are these birds of prey, raptors. They're called black kites that hover over the city. You can almost always see one somewhere up there riding the thermals. But they're always far away. It's almost like they never land. You never see one up close. You wonder if they just disappear at night and come back in the morning up high in the sky. So about a week ago, we were having a meeting at the 55th floor of IFC2 at the other end of this complex, a meeting at the Hong Kong Monetary Authority offices planning this meeting. And while we were having the meeting, as we were wrapping up, one of these birds, almost mythical birds, the black kite came and lit outside of our meeting. And he didn't stop and fly away again. He immediately stopped and stayed. Didn't appear to be doing anything, just supervising our proceedings, keeping an eye on us. And it was really special, not just for me, but also for the people who work at the heights of IFC2 at the HKMA. They said they had never seen anything like this before. It was quite rare and special. And we took it as an omen that this was a sign that Hong Kong is taking off again. So we were quite excited by this. He stayed around so we could all take photos. This black kite was very gracious and bestowed his blessings on us that we were happy to have. Someone who I also know thinks that Hong Kong is taking off yet again is someone who moved to heaven and earth to be here with us today. Heaven and earth and maybe a lot of sand that he kicked out of his shoes on the way in here. We now welcome the Financial Secretary of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China. Please welcome Mr. Paul Chan.
Distinguished speakers and guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It has been a brimful and hope rewarding day for all of you so far. The rewards will continue with a fine lunch from Eddie in just a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm here to sharpen your appetite for Hong Kong business and investment. Looking to the future, the potential and opportunities of Hong Kong as an IFC is just boundless, thanks to the unique connectivity with the mainland and the world. We are determined to excel in many areas. Among them, our fundraising platforms, our role in renminbi internationalization, the unique connect schemes with the mainland, asset and wealth management, Center for Risk and Corporate Treasury Management, and much more. The list could be long. But to echo this morning's inspiring panel discussions, please allow me to highlight Hong Kong's development in just two areas: green and sustainable finance and Fintech. Around the globe, governments have been drawing up action plans to peak gashouse emission and achieve carbon neutrality, seeking to reach the targets in the Paris Agreement. The mainland has set out its 30-60 dual carbon targets, that is, peaking carbon emissions by 2030 and achieving carbon neutrality by 2060. And in Hong Kong, we set our target to reach carbon neutrality by 2050. Along the global momentum, Hong Kong has this vision: to become a premier center for green and sustainable finance that serves the green transformation in the mainland, the region, and the world. On this, we have much confidence. The National 14th Five-Year Plan supports Hong Kong's development into a green finance center, in particular, Hong Kong's strategic position in the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area, where green transition is high on demand for this burgeoning 11-city region with a population of 86 million. Adherence to high international standards is also why we have good prospect to succeed. We have reporting and disclosure standards that align with international best practices. We are seeking to adopt a green classification framework along the common ground taxonomy. Green bonds issued in Hong Kong are trusted by global investors. In realizing this vision, we lead by example. We issue government green bonds since 2018. Through the concerted efforts of regulators and the industry, green and sustainable debts issued or arranged in Hong Kong reached more than $56 billion in 2021, 4 times that of the previous year and topped in Asia. Deep liquidity aside, the market covered a diversified investor base and project categories. We continue to provide expensive subsidy for eligible issuers and borrowers for their borrowings in Hong Kong. In many ways, we are setting benchmarks and standards for green finance in this region. Last year, we became the first Asian government to issue 30-year and 20-year green bonds denominated in US dollar and euro, which were the longest tenure of Asia government bonds at the time. The response from investors were overwhelming. Mainland provincial and municipal governments are supporting our efforts as well. Shenzhen, our neighboring city, was the first mover, and they issued their first ever offshore renminbi green bonds worth 3.9 billion renminbi in Hong Kong last year. It was followed by the provincial government of Hainan, which announced just last week the issuance of blue and sustainable bonds worth 5 billion renminbi in Hong Kong for marine and sustainable projects. Green finance seeks to support humanity's responsibility for the environment. And we do not forget that this is what our people should own and benefit from. In May this year, we issued the inaugural retail green bonds to the order of $2.5 billion, which is also the largest globally. The costs are slightly more expensive and administration a little more burdensome, but it will reinforce our residents' sense of ownership of our green vision and help us achieve financial inclusion goals. Allow me now to turn to the future of finance. The key word to this is definitely Fintech. Hong Kong's strength as an IFC and as part of GBA facilitate our development of a strong Fintech sector. We have an extensive presence of top global financial institutions here, providing a complete range of financial services, a deep pool of financial expertise and talents, an internationally recognized regulatory regime, and sophisticated IT infrastructure, etc. Building on this foundation, we have been adopting a multi-pronged approach in fostering Fintech development. They include, first, forward-looking and facilitating policies and measures. For example, a Fintech 2025 strategy has been promulgated by the Hong Kong MA to help all banks to go Fintech. Sandboxes of all the financial regulators are linked up to facilitate development of cross-sectoral Fintech solutions. 2, encourage innovation. For example, we issue on Monday a policy statement on virtual assets. We make our policy stance clear to the markets to demonstrate our determination to explore financial innovation together with the global VA community. Third, development of essential infrastructure. For example, a faster payment system connecting all bank accounts and electronic wallets for individuals, enabling them to make instant transfer between all these accounts and between individuals. The commercial data interchange allows businesses to share operational data on a consent basis so the banks may make better informed assessments of loan applications, while SMEs may have access to financial services more conveniently. Fourth, leveraging on our unique superconnector role to facilitate cross-boundary collaboration in the development and application of Fintech solutions. Cross-boundary supervisory sandbox in the GBA is a recent example. Besides, an online platform will be launched to connect Hong Kong Fintech companies to users, partners, and investors in the mainland, Southeast Asia, and beyond. Meanwhile, the Hong Kong MA is also working with the Bank of International Settlements and 3 peer central banks on the M-Bridge project, exploring the use of CBDC to expedite cross-border trade settlements. Fifth, capacity building. We ensure there are facilitating and welcoming policies to attract mainland and overseas talents, while providing subsidized training and education opportunities for our own locals. Fintech qualifications have been established under the qualification framework so as to provide a clear career path to Fintech practitioners. The recent policy address of the Chief Executive has also rolled out even bolder measures to attract talents. The sixth, nurturing the ecosystem. We provide subsidies for firms in their technology adoption, provide incentive for startups and private equity firms to establish here. And we have set up funds to support and invest in Fintech companies at varying degree of development. Last year, we rolled out an electronic consumption voucher scheme. As a result, consumer accounts and merchant accounts of the relevant store value facility operators have increased by more than 8 million and 150,000 respectively from the year before. Application of electronic payment has now infiltrated into different businesses and walks of life, from shopping centers to wet markets, from hawkers to taxi drivers. We have come a long way in a short time. 5 years ago, Hong Kong counted no more than 180 Fintech companies. Today, we are home to more than 800 companies. Many of them are founded by entrepreneurs from the mainland, France, the UK, and the other places. We have also nurtured several local unicorns. But we do not stop here. The virtual asset policy statement mentioned earlier sets out our vision, regulations, thoughts on investor protection, and attempts in emerging areas such as NFT tokenization and e-Hong Kong dollar. As an IFC, Hong Kong is open and inclusive towards global innovators. We are working with the financial regulators towards providing a facilitating environment for the sustainable and responsible development of the virtual asset sector in Hong Kong. Ladies and gentlemen, in short, our prospect of green and sustainable finance and of fintech are highly promising. But before I keep you further from your lunch, may I express thanks to the Hong Kong Monetary Authority for organizing this inspiring and thought-provoking summit. My thanks too for your participation, for your unwavering belief in Hong Kong. Thank you very much.